Hi guys, it's Umar Hamza here from UItraininglabs.com. Today I'm going to be doing a review video of this site that's been submitted as a mock-up preview. Now this site has been designed for a friend of mine, okay, and obviously this is the early stages of the design. But as it is at the moment, it's not doing the job. It's not ticking all the boxes, even as a mock-up. So what I decided to do is create a mock-up of my own. Okay, just basically to show that even though it's early stages, it can look a little bit better. Not perfect, but a bit better. So hopefully what you get from this review video is you get some tips on how a mock-up should look, number one, and how your website should be shaped from its early stages. Okay, so without further ado, we'll get started. What I decided to do is I decided to create exactly the same, the same sort of elements on this mockup. As you can see here, it's got a header menu, it's got a billboard section and a carousel, and then this sort of featured area here at the bottom. And I've sort of done exactly the same thing. I've got my header here. You can see that the menu is same black has been used. I have a billboard section, a sort of carousel, and I've sort of decided to go without the directional buttons here. This could be just a thumbnail over here, and then we've got our featured area here, which looks very different to the current design. And then I just stuck a footer in here. I just copied it from another site. Okay. So that's that. I'm gonna just point out some things that are not right with this site, okay, so that you can actually understand what you can do to make sure that your site is looking polished, essentially. So the first thing here, I don't like the top navigation bar here that they have. How they've done the rounded corners with the shadow here. It basically breaks up the design of this blue line here. Okay, so it seamlessly goes, is running across, but then this menu just sits in here like this. It doesn't look very neat, and it breaks up that seamlessness. If you are going to create a menu at the top, I would advise using something like this. You see how this website colombiasportswear.com, they have a menu right at the top here like this, and there's no shadow actually breaking the design at the top. Another example would be this website here. There's a menu here at the top, and this line actually goes across all the way through the website. Okay, so that can come off. Another thing as well, the logo and strapline. This is supposed to be a strapline, I believe, because there's no point actually repeating what the logo is saying, Gym Boy. So I've created this as a strapline, as you can see here. But my main point is that I want this needs to be vertically centered. You see how my design is vertically centered. The logo is, the strapline is, and the same thing with here and the checkout. But here now you've got everything sort of cluttered, and it's they're sort of on their own lines. So it goes up here and it comes down here like this. And another thing as well with this, the problem with this is it looks cluttered because there's not enough spacing between the elements. So I have spaced out all these elements here, so it looks a lot better. The next thing with the menu looks very, very messy, and they've actually added rounded corners to it, which I think doesn't fit the site design. So there's a white line underneath the menu, which doesn't make sense, with a shadow. And another thing that I noticed, that the spacing between the navigation buttons are inconsistent. So the spacing between home and shop is 54 pixels, and between shop and about us is approximately 74 pixels. So that's inconsistent, which is not cool. and I decided just to create sort of the buttons, and you can see that my buttons are consistent in terms of their size. They're all the same width, okay, and it goes all the way across the website. Move on to the billboard now. The billboard is a bit of a mess because they're using so much different. They're using yes, so much different patterns. Okay, and it makes it look messy, and the font looks childish. It looks too playful here. I think you should stick with an Arial font. If you're going to use a serif font, use Georgia. Okay, that will work well here. Or just go with a serif. Sorry, a sans serif font like I did. I just used Arial and bolded it on the billboard and throughout the website. The background. So this banner, I don't know whether it's a banner or a background image. I mean, they tried to copy this sort of style and the way that Columbia Sportswear have done it. I personally don't really like the way that Columbia Sportswear have done it, but they've made it work because they've sort of broke it up here. They've sort of broke it up into panels, and there's a shadow alongside the edges of the website, which is cool. But here it's a total catastrophe. So I would actually do something like this. So basically, the background will extend from the top of the website down to the bottom of the billboard area. Okay, and you can put a graphic in there or something like that. All right. So, and I would get rid of the top bar as well. So I just put that line there. The next thing here you'd notice, the carousel is absolutely awful. It doesn't look like a carousel at all. This is supposed to be a carousel, by the way. Okay, and I'll tell you what a carousel looks like. That's a carousel on Super. When you click it, it moves along, and that's a carousel there. I noticed with this carousel, there's sort of like a grey, a sort of light grey outline on each of the thumbnails, and then there's a spaced area here between each thumbnail. And if you were to look on this mock-up, there is absolutely no spacing between their thumbnails. So what happens is now there is a thick border between the images. Sorry, the thumbnails, and that makes it look messy. And these buttons don't do a good job at all. It doesn't really work. Using a graphical icon, there's so many websites that you can go on to find icons and stuff like that. So what I've decided to do is I've just put in a border, a thick border, and obviously like I mentioned before, just made sure that it's outlined and well spaced. Okay, so it's not absolutely perfect, but it gets the job done. So moving on, our featured area here, they've actually made their one a gradient, which is absolutely hideous. The edges here aren't outlined, which I think is not right. And I would have rounded these corners, and they decided to round off the menu, but they didn't round off this featured area here. I would have rounded it off, and the headline is a bit too small. So I would make that big so that it stands out. It's supposed to be a featured area, a featured product, and so the headline needs to be bigger. So that's what I've done here. I haven't added sort of like a pricing or anything like that, but I have a big headline and I have a call to action here, so customers can say, okay, no, listen, this is the featured image. We can go and shop for it here. Okay. Lastly, they've decided not to go with a footer menu. I've just stuck a footer in here. I think you should always have a secondary navigation bar at the bottom. Some people don't think so, but it's for the redundancy and SEO reasons. And then you can have your terms and your copyright down here. Okay, so and as well a sign up form is really important. A capture form to capture your audience that come to your site. That's really important. So this has basically been a review of this mock-up design. We'll be coming out with other video reviews as well, and web design tips and things like that for you guys, you know, who want to become web designers, or who want to at least build their own website. We'll be coming up with tips and tutorials and more videos like this, as well as much more. So if you can head over to uitraininglabs.com and hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and like our videos, and comment. We'll be happy to hear from you guys. Thank you very much. Goodbye.